Okay, are you ready for an update on the St. Louis area real estate market? All right, this week we're going to talk about the St. Louis area real estate market, and we cover the Jefferson County, St. Louis County, St. Louis City, and St. Charles County areas. It's an extra special edition this week because we've got the coronavirus coming into play in the U.S., and it's really starting to affect the real estate market. So we know you guys are really curious what the effect is. I'm going to let you know that we're in the early stages right now, so this data is it's in flux, and so we're doing our best to read it on basically a daily basis. And if we get any major changes, we'll let you know. So what we're going to look at is the performance this week compared to last week. So that's the comparison that we're working on. So let's talk about active listings. Last week there were 313 new listings that came on within this area. This week we had 527 came on. That's an increase of 68%. It's would be alarming potentially, except that we're already in a low inventory market as we have been for about 4 years. So we're going to see how this plays out. We'll check next week to see if this is a trend that's going to continue or not. But frankly, we need the inventory in the market. Next, let's talk about average list price. So the average list price last week was $341,000 compared to $271,000 in this particular week. That's a 20% reduction in average list price from last week. I'll tell you, from a real estate agent perspective, you're probably seeing a lot of price reductions from sellers. They are being proactive in getting ahead of the market because they know that there's the potential for disruption. So that's probably what we're seeing here. We may see a little bit more of that next week, but we'll keep you posted. Our third piece we want to talk about is pendings. So when we're looking at market activity, we're really looking at the momentum of the market, and the thing that tells us that what that momentum looks like is the active listings that we talked about, and then also pendings, so things that are under contract. So last week 680 properties went under contract, and this week it's 632, which is a 7% decrease from last week. I wouldn't let that bother me too much because we do have a limited inventory already and a pretty strong buyer demand. So let's see how this plays out over the next couple of weeks. Our last piece that we want to look at is really a flat status right now. So we're looking at listing price versus sale price ratio. Last week we were at a 98.94% list to sale price ratio. This week we're at a 98.65. So it's down a little, but it's not enough to be significant in any way. So long story short, we do have some movement in the market this week that we didn't have last week. Not necessarily in a positive direction, but again, don't let that stress you out. We need more data over a longer period of time to really tell what's going to happen. That being said, if you're thinking about buying or selling a house, this is a great time to get it done before anything significant happens further because of the coronavirus and the economic fallout. We don't know what's going to happen after that, so we have a little more data now to work with. So if you got any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, get a hold of me. We'll talk you through all these stats or anything else you need real estate related. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit subscribe.